we're coming to the end of January, which was maybe dry January. So
Mhm.
if people haven't been drinking, maybe they're, anxious for some alcohol. I don't know, not with the numbers down as they are, but I thought I would do a quiz on alcohol because we usually focus on food. So I thought alcohol might be kind of interesting. So this is a dry January or beginning of not dry January, February. Okay, so question one. By law, bourbon must be aged in new charred oak barrels. And most drinkers probably assume that it's for the flavor and all that kind of stuff. However, legislation was actually passed in 1935 to solve a completely different problem. What was the original purpose of the new barrel? Why is it a new barrel? Is it A, to prevent methanol poisoning? Because regulators feared during Prohibition or after Prohibition that there'd be contaminated barrels floating around. Is it B, to jumpstart the timber economy? It was lobbying effort by the associated cooperage industries to ban the reuse of barrels so that they could get more new barrels. Is it C, to enable tax stamping? The IRS required every barrel to be branded with a unique tax ID. Reused barrels were often too dark and scarred and covered with old stamps to be legible and leading to tax evasion. Or was it D, to create a non tariff trade barrier? European spirits relied on used barrels. By mandating new American oak, the US government effectively blocked foreign cooperages from entering the American market.
Ooh, these are very interesting and very different.
Yes.
No hints of any kind, or
No.
no hints. Wow, that's unfortunate.
Cooperage,
Well,
like to support the Cooperage union or whatever was
the
going on
timber
there.
economy.
Was
Yeah,
that
the
The
B?
timber.
timber
That's where
B,
I'm
B.
going.
timber
I'm going
economy.
with
Okay.
Yeah.
B.
Wait, no, that's not Tim.
No. No,
Wait,
A was methanol poisoning, B was timber economy, C was tax stamps, and D was the
oh,
non-tariff from a European
yeah, I
trade
guess
barrier.
B. Are we all going B?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
There's never really been any effort to avoid taxes on alcohol. The alcohol producers have always been very keen to pay taxes, which is why we never had anything with people creating their own. I'm going to go with tax stamping, letter C.
C. All right. You should have gone with B because it is. It's B. It was
Oh,
a law
timber.
created. It was a law created it was basically a bailout for the lumber industry. But it has created a great secondary market because then they use all of those
Oh, yeah.
old bourbon barrels for like stuff like Tabasco and Scotch and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, B. Susan and Jess are up. Two, the bright neon red maraschino cherry found in dive bars the world over and dirty Shirley's and all that kind of stuff is the triumph of chemistry over nature. The modern processing method was invented at Oregon State University to extend the life of local cherries. Before they are dyed red, they are soaked in a brine of sulfur dioxide and calcium chloride, which is a common
Seriously?
yes, which is a common de-icer, but it's also in calcium supplements and an ingredient in tofu, so it's nothing to be worried about. What is the specific purpose of that chemical bath? Is it A, to bleach the fruit yellow? Those chemicals strip about 100% of the natural pigment, and then it is a blank slate to put the red on. Is it B, to dissolve the pit? The sulfur dioxide and the calcium actually loosen the cellulose, and the pit actually slips right out the stem hole, and they don't have to go through mechanical pitting. Is it C, to create a sugar shell? The calcium chloride reacts with the fruit pectin to harden the exterior so that the cherry doesn't turn to mush inside the jar. Or is it D, to neutralize fermentation? The sulfur actually kills the natural wild yeast on the skin instantly, ensuring the cherry doesn't, ferment and bubble away inside the jar and you get it.
I'm going D.
D,
Wow.
natural fermentation, neutralized
Mhm.
fermentation.
Mhm.
I'm
I
going
failed chemistry,
C.
so
C, Jess, you said C, sugar
Yeah,
shell? Okay.
sugar shell.
I'm going to go
Charlie?
B, dissolve the pit.
That was
Okay.
my
Somehow you were all incorrect. It bleaches it yellow, white. So uh,
oh,
that is what it is. Natural maraschino
That's
cherries.
hysterical.
So
That's
think
hysterical.
Luxardo those are natural. Those are don't have the dye job, basically the bleach and dye job there
Those
to
are also good.
yeah, they are. All right. Three. The bottle for Angostura bitters is one of the most recognizable in the world due to its ill-fitting, oversized label that crunches up around the neck of the bottle. How did it get that strange label, if you're familiar?
oh, this is
Was
good. Okay.
was it A, the metric versus imperial error? The glassworks in Trinidad measured the bottle mold in inches, while the print shop in London measured the label in centimeters, which caused the mix match. Is it B, a division of labor failure? The two founding brothers, the Sigard brothers, split the responsibilities for an upcoming competition. One ordered the bottles and the other ordered the labels, and they never coordinated the dimensions, and it worked. It looked cool. Is it C, the tax stamp patch? The original label was the correct size, but a new colonial law required a massive tax stamp, literal stamp, to be affixed to the glass under the brand label. To avoid redrawing the art, they simply printed the label 20 size bigger to cover the stamp. Or is it D, the counterfeit defense? At the time, competitors were refilling Angostura bottles with fake bitters. The brand intentionally created the label that was impossible to apply smoothly and, to fake it. It basically covered the top of the bottle.
Wow, these are all good.
I have to constantly come up with better ones for you guys.
Going B.
Yikes.
B, the division of labor with the brothers. Okay.
I'm going to go metric versus imperial.
Okay. Jess?
C.
C. Okay.
Don't tell us we all three missed it again.
No. Susan is correct. It was the division of labor. It was the brothers split it, and they lost the competition, but they still thought it was a really cool looking label when they did it. So, all right. Number 4, absinthe was banned in the US and Europe for nearly a century because it contains thajone, which is a compound found in wormwood that was believed to cause hallucinations. Modern science proves the thajone is harmless in those amounts. So why was the ban really pushed so hard in France in 1915? Was it A, copper poisoning? The cheap copper stills used by bootleg absinthe makers was actually leaching toxic chemicals, and the government banned it, not thinking that it was the thajone, and it really was the copper in the stills. Is it B, the wine lobby? Recovering from the Phylloxera plague that wiped out the vineyards, the French wine industry launched a smear campaign against the cheap absinthe industry. Was it C, the Bohemian draft dodgers? Absinthe was associated with artists and radicals who opposed World War I, and the government banned it to break up the political gathering spots that were focused around absinthe. Or was it D, the syphilis confusion? Neurological symptoms of late-stage syphilis, which was common in the red light districts where absinthe bars were popular, was mistakenly thought to be exacerbated by drinking absinthe by early epidemiologists.
I'm going C.
Wow.
C, Bohemian draft dodgers.
Yeah, I'm thinking C.
Okay.
I'm going to go wine lobby.
Wine lobby. Okay.
That's what I
Jess?
think it is, but I'm going to go D because there's a public health angle.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Charlie is correct. It is the wine lobby. It was a hit job basically by Big Wine.
Wow.
They used some junk science by a doctor who gave pure wormwood oil to guinea pigs until they had seizures and then claimed that the drink did the same thing to humans. So, yes, we've rethought that now. All right, last one. The champagne coupe, which if you're familiar, it's the wide, shallow glass that you think of in the 1920s, the Roaring '20s, that people drank champagne out of. Now, there's a popular myth that claims that the shape was molded from, speaking of Marie Antoinette, the left breast of Marie Antoinette. That is not true. The boring truth is that the glass was designed in England in 1663. What was the original purpose of the coupe's wide, shallow shape? Okay. It allowed for stacking. The English aristocracy loved champagne fountains, and the coupe was the only shape structurally sound enough to be stacked in a pyramid. Is it B, to facilitate toasting? The wide brim allowed drinkers to clink glasses aggressively without chipping the rim, which was a bad problem with more of the fragile hand-blown flutes of the 17th century. Was it C, to dip cake? Champagne was originally consumed as a dessert wine, often sweeter than today, and the wide bowl was designed to allow the dipping of sponge cakes, little biscuits, into the wine. Or D, to oxygenate red wine. The coupe was actually originally designed as a holdover for red wine. It was evolved later to be a drinking glass to maximize the wine's contact with the air to actually oxygenate it before drinking.
Let them dip cake.
That's
Okay.
what I was. Stole my line, Charlie.
All right, Jess and Charlie say dipping cake. Susan?
Well, I'm watching Bridgerton, and they
Mm,
had a champagne fountain at a ball, and it's set in England. So I'm going A.
yeah, well, you're all incorrect. It was originally developed for red wine. And actually, and there's something to be said too, is that the original champagne, people didn't like the bubbles. They thought that was kind of like they called it like the devil's bubbles. They didn't like it at all. They thought it was a bad thing. So they actually wanted to get rid of the fizz, so they put it in a wider glass.
Oh,
So
sure.
that oxygenated glass did it, and it
Happens
wasn't
more
until
quickly.
later that the flute, increased the bubbles and that people started to like it. So it was originally a red wine glass.